Imagine waking up one morning, staring at the ceiling and feeling nothing. No spark, no direction, just a hollow question echoing in your mind. What's the point? You've been told your whole life that you need a purpose, a grand mission to give your days meaning. But what if you don't have one? What if your life has no purpose at all? Does that mean it's empty, or could it mean something entirely different, something freeing? At Essence and Existence, we dive into the questions that keep you up at night. And today we're tackling one of the biggest, the idea of purpose. In a world obsessed with goals, success, and finding your why, the pressure to have a purpose can feel crushing. But what if that pressure is a lie? What if the search for purpose is what's holding you back from truly living? In this video, we'll explore what it means to live without a predefined purpose, how that idea connects to thinkers like Nietzsche and Sartre, and how you can find freedom in the unknown. Stay with me, because by the end you will discover a surprising truth. Maybe a life without purpose is exactly what you need to finally be free. Let us start with an uncomfortable truth. The idea that you need a purpose is a modern invention. Think about it. For centuries, people lived without this obsession with a big why. They worked, loved, fought, and died, often without ever stopping to ask, "What's my purpose?" This only became a thing when society started selling us the idea that without a purpose, you're not enough. But who says that's true? Friedrich Nietzsche, one of history's greatest philosophers, warned us about this. He said that humans create their own values, and that includes the idea of purpose. For Nietzsche, life doesn't come with a ready-made meaning. God is dead, remember? There's no divine script, no mission written in the stars. We invent these things to feel secure. But what happens when you can't find that purpose? You feel lost, empty, like you're failing some invisible test. Nietzsche would call that a trap. He believed in the will to power, the drive to create your own path, even if it means embracing chaos and uncertainty. Now let's bring another thinker into the conversation. Jean-Paul Sartre, one of the fathers of existentialism. Sartre had an even more radical view. He said we are condemned to freedom. This means there's no inherent purpose to your existence. You're born without a manual, without instructions. And that, for Sartre, is both terrifying and liberating. Terrifying because you're fully responsible for giving your life meaning. Liberating because, well, you're completely free to decide what it means. So, if you don't have a purpose, maybe that's not a problem. Maybe it's an opportunity. Think about this for a second. What if the emptiness you feel isn't a sign of failure, but an invitation to create something new, something that's truly yours? Because deep down, the search for purpose can be a prison. It makes us believe we need a perfect answer, a clear mission for our life to be worthwhile. But what if life isn't about finding a purpose, but about living in the moment, without rules, without expectations? Now that we've established that purpose might be a construct, not a necessity, let's bring this into the real world. What does it feel like to live without a purpose in your daily life? Picture your routine. You wake up, check your phone, and see people on social media showing off their perfect lives. An influencer is traveling the world. Another just launched $1 million startup, and you're stuck in the same job, the same city, with no idea where you're going. The comparison is inevitable and it hurts. You wonder, why don't I have that clarity? Why don't I know what I want from life? This emptiness isn't just yours. It's a modern phenomenon. We live in an age of hyper-connectivity, where we're constantly bombarded with stories of success and purpose. But the truth is, most of us don't have a clear mission. And that's not a flaw, it's human. Let's look at a story that illustrates this. Meet Anna, a 29-year-old graphic designer. Anna is talented, but she's never felt like she had a big purpose. For years, she compared herself to friends who seemed to know exactly what they wanted. One was a doctor, another started an NGO, and she just did her projects and went home. Anna started feeling like she was falling behind, as if her life had no value because it lacked a grand mission. But one day, while walking in the park, she had an epiphany. She realized she loved the little things, the sound of birds, the smell of coffee in the morning, laughing with friends. What if that was enough? What if her life didn't need a purpose to be fulfilling? Anna Edith's story shows us something powerful. The absence of purpose doesn't mean an absence of meaning. On the contrary, it can be a door to freedom. When you stop searching for a big why, you start noticing what truly matters to you, right here, right now. Sartre would say, Anna is exercising her existential freedom. She's choosing what gives her life meaning, even if it's the simple things. Nietzsche, on the other hand, would say she's affirming her will to power, creating value from what she already has, without waiting for a magical answer. So, what if you did the same? What if, instead of searching for a purpose, you started finding meaning in the things already in your life? Maybe the emptiness you feel isn't a void to be filled, but a space to create something new, something that's yours alone. Now that we've seen how the absence of purpose can be an opportunity, the question is, how do you live this in practice? How do you turn that emptiness into something that frees you instead of paralyzing you? Here are 3 practical steps to start living without the pressure of a purpose, inspired by the ideas we've explored. First step, stop searching and start noticing. Instead of asking, "What's my purpose?" shift the question to, "What makes me feel alive today?" Pay attention to the small things that bring you joy or curiosity. It could be listening to a song that moves you, talking to a friend, or watching the rain fall. Nietzsche teaches us that life is about affirming what you already have, not chasing what you lack. So start valuing what's right in front of you. Second step, embrace uncertainty as part of the journey. Sartre said we're condemned to freedom, and that means there are no ready-made answers. Instead of fighting the emptiness, lean into it. Emptiness is like a blank canvas. You can paint it however you want. If you don't know what you want from life, that's okay. Allow yourself to experiment, to fail, to change your mind. Try something new. Learn to play an instrument, write a poem, or just go for a walk with no destination in mind. Freedom comes when you stop waiting for a map and start exploring the terrain. Third step, create your own meaning day by day. You don't need a grand purpose for your life to have value. Instead, build small meanings in your everyday life. If helping a coworker made you feel useful, that's meaning. If cooking a meal brought you satisfaction, that's meaning. As Nietzsche suggested, the will to power is about creating your own values, even if they're simple. You don't need to save the world. You just need to make your world worth living in. These steps won't give you a purpose, and that's the point. They'll help you live without one, to find beauty in the chaos of existence. Because in the end, maybe the greatest purpose of life is simply to live fully, without constraints, without expectations, just being who you are, right here, right now. We've reached the end of this journey, and I want you to take a moment to breathe deeply. Think about everything we've discussed. The pressure to have a purpose is a modern invention, an idea that makes us feel we need something grand to be enough. But Nietzsche and Sartre show us that life doesn't come with a manual. There's no purpose written in the stars, and that's not a flaw, it's a freedom. The freedom to create, to experiment, to simply be. Maybe your life doesn't have a purpose, and maybe that's the most powerful thing of all. Because without a purpose, you're not bound by expectations. You don't need to be the next big entrepreneur, the next hero. You can just be you. And what if that's enough? And what if the simple act of waking up, feeling the sun on your face, laughing with the people you love, is all you need for your life to have meaning? So here's my challenge to you. Today, take a moment to do something that brings you joy without expecting it to lead to a bigger purpose. Maybe it's sipping your coffee slowly, jotting down an idea in a notebook, or listening to a song that moves you. Let go of the search for a why and just live in the moment. As Sartre would say, you're condemned to freedom, so why not use it to be happy in your own way? If this video made you think, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to Essence and Existence, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our content. Share in the comments what makes you feel alive even without a purpose. I'd love to hear your story. And if you're ready to dive even deeper into your existential journey, check out our last video on Nietzsche and the power of silence. Until next time, remember, you're freer than you think.